Thanks for watching Numbskull News. And today, I'm going to talk more about realignment. It's not going anywhere, people. I keep telling you, it's the gift that keeps on giving, as Uncle Eddie once told us. It's not going anywhere. And I love it. You should love it too. Of course you do. You're watching this damn video, aren't you? There's a lot of reasons to love realignment. Number one, it's the most channel growth I've ever gotten, period, because most of my content through the years has sucked. But I took a real interest in realignment because it just fascinated me. Started making videos, and I'll be damned, there's a lot of people out there that love the story and love to contemplate and to speculate on what's going on. So here we are. And it's been fun learning about how all this business works, the business of college sports, because it's a business, especially now with NIL and transfer portal and all that shit. It's a big business. It's been a big business. Just kind of take it for granted. But now really digging in and learning, that's cool. It's been fun. That's the biggest takeaway. It's been fun. But the thing I love the most about realignment, the Big 12, the perception of the Big 12 has changed. People aren't just looking at this conference like some dirtbag, cheap hotel, people sitting on the front porch and overalls and no t-shirt playing the banjo, that kind of conference, the hee-haw conference, the trailer park conference, the truck stop conference, the flyover conference. The perception has changed. People are now taking the Big 12 seriously. This thing's got 16 great brands in it. Are they Ohio State or Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia? The list goes on and on. No, they're not. No, they're not. But they're badass second-tier brands that play exciting football, exciting basketball. And as far as the basketball goes, I'm sorry, those are not second-tier brands. This is the conference that plays elite basketball, the number 2 revenue generator in the country. So now that, the ACC thing, that story is really starting to take off. And I've already dealt with some ACC people that try to tell me what trash the Big 12 is. We can't say that anymore. Oh, you'll never pull any of those Pac schools. Why would they go there? That's ridiculous. Is it? I know 4 more Pac schools that would love to get into this bitch. Would absolutely love it, including Stanford and Cal. Don't even think for 2 seconds that both those teams wouldn't cut off their left nut right now to get into the Big 12. But isn't it funny? 2 years ago, the Hateful Eight, the 8 teams left after Texas and Oklahoma left, got turned down by every power conference that wasn't the Big 12. No, thank you. We're not adding schools right now. We don't really have interest right now. That's what Stanford and Cal is hearing it from the Big 10. There's no reason to call the SEC. They're not going to go west beyond Oklahoma and Texas. The Big 12 already said, I think we're good. They're going to stay at 16 for a while. We're going to give this thing a test drive in 2024. I think we're good. Ain't it funny? Stanford and Cal just pissing in the wind. Well, that karma is something, isn't it? Isn't it? So the perception has changed of the Big 12. Also, the perception has changed for the San Diego State Aztecs. Apparently, their president, was it De La Torre, something like that? This idiot. I mean, if you didn't think all the letters were bad enough that she wrote to the Mountain West, we may be leaving. Oh, it was an exit letter. It was kind of shot their wad a little early on that. As far as Pac-12 is concerned. If that wasn't bad enough, All right, because I heard the story a couple days ago. I heard a story about how the four pack schools were going to join together with the biggest brands of the Mountain West and a few brands of the ACC and kind of patchwork together a new Power 5 conference and relabel the whole thing, of course, probably Pac 12, Pac 16, whatever. Uh, well, we got a little more information from Dennis Dodd that, there was a failed attempt, a failed coup, if you will, by the San Diego State president. This idiot doesn't know how anything works. She doesn't know how TV contracts work. She doesn't know how to get out of a conference or not to get out of a conference works. Doesn't quite understand that. Doesn't quite understand that there are back channels you can use, because I actually don't have a problem with the idea. But because people come up with ideas all the time, things are back channeled all the time, whether that's in college sports, in the NFL, NBA, you name it. All right, if people are making money, there's back channels. So I'm like, how did this come out? How did Dennis Dodd get this story? How are you so stupid that you're not aware of back channels? Because I tell you what she did. She called up Boise State, Fresno State, UNLV, maybe Colorado State. And some of these people are not very happy with San Diego State as it is. You made the whole damn conference look weak and stupid just a month ago. And you're going to call and say you want to come with us to do, get out of this league and do whatever? Are you that dumb? Because none of you can leave until 2025 for $17 million. Because none of you can afford the 34 that it would take to leave the conference to make this kind of thing work with those 4-pack schools, you freaking moron. It's real easy. It's cool to have the idea. You know what you do? You call Stanford. Stanford's not going to leak anything. They haven't leaked a damn thing throughout this whole Pac-12 saga. They're not going to start now. And just say, hey, run the idea by them. What do you think? You think we could pull this off? All right. Maybe they don't like the idea and they just dismiss you offhand. Then your plan ain't going to work. Or maybe they like it. Okay, run it by the other 3 remaining members of the pack and see, what they think. And then you just communicate with just them. Just them. That's how a back channel works. It's you and one other person. Not the whole damn world, you idiot. All right, so if those 4 are on board, this is what you do. Then you have Stanford, the biggest brand of the bunch, the most respected brand of the bunch. You have them call UNLV and Fresno State and Colorado State and Boise State and see if they're interested in doing that. You don't call anybody from the Mountain West. Dumbass. You have Stanford do it. Make it like it's their idea, not yours. If you, the only other person at that point, if they're cool with doing that and they're going to make those calls, then you go and call SMU, because they were going to be your buddy going to the Pac-12 once upon a time. They're not going to leak anything out. They're not going to try to get you in trouble with the Mountain West or anything. So you call them, say, hey, would you be interested in, doing something like this? And if I'm guarantee you, they would have been on board. So if they're on board, have a little list of other schools, maybe in the American, that you would be interested in, that you and Stanford would be interested in. But you got to let Stanford run point on that kind of stuff. Keep yourself out of the limelight. You had a bad summer, okay? And it's not all the Pac's fault. All right, you did a lot of that crap to yourself. Period. But yeah, you let Stanford run point. Let them do it. Let them be the story. And see if you can get it done. But no, Dumbass doesn't know how the back channel thing works. So now what's going to happen? The Mountain West, they'll do an investigation. They're going to interview everybody that leaked the story. They're going to talk to Boise State. They're going to talk to UNLV or Colorado State, whoever else from the Mountain West that basically turned you out with Dennis Dodd. They gave the story to Dennis Dodd. They're going to find that out. All right, then they're going to come down on you and they're going to sanction the hell out of you. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you a whole lot of shit. And it should, because that's stupid. The idea is not stupid. Floating the idea to somebody like Stanford, that ain't stupid. But damn, the execution is amateur hour. Amateur hour. And you think you're going to get into a Power 5 one day with that? And I'm sorry, Aztec fans, dude. I pull for you guys. I think you got, a really nice university there in a great location. You just got to the championship game and NCAA tournament. You got an outstanding basketball team, really good football program. You got everything. You get the facilities, everything. Everything's ready for the Power 5. And I understand you were that close to Power 5, that close. You could touch it. You could smell it. Only to, have it brush by you. Kind of reminds me of that little story in Field of Dreams, where Moonlight Graham is talking about having, almost touch your dream and just have it brush by you. That's kind of what it is. It's sad. It really is. But there's still hope for the future one day. There's a little hope for Oregon State to get into the Big 12 one day. There's a little hope out there for Memphis. Maybe possibly one day South Florida. UConn's got hope. Gonzaga's got hope. San Diego State has hope. But damn, when you do that shit, you're just digging the hole deeper. Does anyone want to bring you in at that point? You're embarrassing. And it's not because of the fans. It's because of the leadership. They suck. But speaking of Stanford and Cal, because that's the story that is not going to go away just yet, even though it's the dumbest ass thing I've ever heard of, is the ACC. John Wilner, speaking of the gift that keeps on giving, wants to talk about the Big Ten. The Big Ten is not going to add Stanford and Cal. If they were going to add them, they would have been added with Oregon and Washington. That'd have been the perfect time to do it. Like Greg Flugar, who, I'm not going to doubt too much anymore, and a lot of other people have already poo-pooed that whole thing. Why would they? Fox isn't interested. And Fox was a little interested in Stanford. Why would they do that? Why not contact the Big 12? Say, hey, add Stanford. We'll be in on our part of the pro rata, because that's less money than bringing them into the Big Ten. So if Fox wanted to have whatever content that is with Stanford, then maybe they do that. And maybe ESPN would enjoy another coastal school for that late night window. So really their choices, Mountain West, or you go independent. Good luck. And maybe outside possibility one day the Big 12. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that Stanford and Cal would be the most welcomed universities into the Big 12 from my standpoint. But I do have to admit there is some academic prestige to having them there. There's still something to being, San Francisco and two more teams for a late night window. So there's value there. Adding Stanford and Cal might help, with some of those schools as far as ingratiating themselves into the Big 12 and wearing that badge a little more proudly if Stanford and Cal was involved. So those are the reasons to add them to the Big 12. Now, as I said before, Fox doesn't seem to have any interest, and ESPN probably just nominal interest right now. So it's not really a choice for the Big 12 right now. And really, I don't know if the Big 12 even would do it if they wanted to be on board. I don't know how the presidents feel about that. So we'll have to see. But I would still say there's a chance down the road. I don't know right now. I think Mountain West or Independence is their two biggest options right now. And like I said before with the ACC, that's a story that's just starting. And I've already made my videos about a controlled demolition of the ACC. I'm still holding to that. That's my best speculation. That's my thought on what could happen. But I'm going to watch just like the rest of you guys on the ACC. I mean, because there's people like Greg Flugar who are just all over that like flies on shit. And, look, I'm going to watch what he's got. I'm going to watch 365, John Kurtz, and everything else. When there's something out of there with some meat on it, I'll make a video on it. I'm not just going to start making videos talking out of my ass about the ACC when, we have no idea what's going on, with Florida State. It's a convoluted mess right now, and there's people all over the board talking a lot of shit. So I'm just going to take notes. And I'm going to listen to the shit flying. And when we find out what happens come August 15th, trust me, I'll make a video about it. And when people have been maybe saying a little too much, like they know something and they don't, I'll point it out. Even if I'm a fan of the people that I'm talking about, even if I really like them, subscribe to their channel, watch them all the time, I'm going to talk about it. Because there's a lot of shit coming out, a lot of smoke out of that conference right now. So I don't doubt at all that something's going to pop off, whether it starts this year or next year. Shit's going to go down with the ACC, and it's going to happen way sooner than people think. I do believe that. But right now, I'm just going to hang back a little bit, kind of find my angle. That's what I do. Find my little troll lane to get in there. Anyway, guys, realignment. Oh, we ain't done by a long shot, baby. And I'm here for it all the time. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this crap. And I'll be back with some other crap later. Bye.